Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. CFL content for the fans, by the fans. And we got playoffs. We got the Hamilton Tiger Cats versus the Montreal Alouettes in the Eastern semi-final. Wow, I am excited. I have waited all year for playoffs. And, okay, so we got Hamilton versus Montreal. So let's take a deep dive into this. So let's first go through Hamilton's record for the season. They fought their way really hard near the end of the season, really to get into this spot with an 8-10 record. Montreal 9-9. It'll be interesting to see how this goes. Montreal with even record. Montreal finished the season second in the East. And Hamilton finished third in the East. So Montreal's got home field advantage. By the way, if you're wondering why I'm wearing a Ticats hat and there's a Ticats banner and there's no Alouettes banner, it's because I don't have an Alouettes hat and it's because I don't have an Alouettes banner. There is no favoritism here. It is simply because I don't have any Alouettes stuff yet. That will change. So, anyways, let's take a deep dive in this. So your quarterbacks you're gonna have starting here. With the Ticats, you got Dane Evans, 3,883 yards for the season. Trevor Harris, a little bit more of an impressive 4,157. Now, keep in mind, Dane Evans, bit of a slow start, really got going in that game against the Bombers. Trevor Harris has been pretty consistent all season long, so that's kind of a good thing here for the Alouettes. If we're talking about some really good consistency, you got to be talking about receiver Geno Lewis for the Alouettes, who's being nominated for Player Award. I'm trying to remember what Player Award it was. My apologies, simply can't remember. I know he got nominated for one of them, though. 1,303 yards for the season, so another 1,000-yard season. Tim White, similar, though, 1,265 for the season, so some good receiving there. If we're talking rushing yards, this is a little bit interesting because leading the Alouettes here is Jeshurun Antwi, I believe that's how you say his name. My apologies if I'm butchered that. 600 yards rushing for the season. Wes Hills for the Ticats, 384, so not quite as much. Now, the interesting thing is that are they going to be playing William Stanback a lot now that he's back? He's had some mixed results. I don't know if you go with Stanback. Antwi, like I said, he's been able to put up some solid numbers throughout the season, so I think you kind of, tread with caution and see what makes sense as a game time decision. So, of the past 4 games, just kind of seeing how their momentum has gone in just kind of the later part of the season, which is both relevant and not, and I'll kind of explain that after. Hamilton being able to get their last 3 games as wins in the season with a loss before that, and Montreal being a little bit more of a mixed bag. Winning one, losing one, winning one, ending on a loss. So we'll have to see that. No, ending on a win. Sorry, I that was the second last game they lost, and then they beat the Argonauts. So my apologies there. And so I'm curious to see how this goes in terms of head-to-head encounters. We've had 3 of them. So there was one on July 28th of this year, where the Hamilton Tiger Cats would win against the Alouettes 24-17 at home. But then in the 2 games in Montreal, on August 20th and September 23rd, respectively, the Alouettes won 29-28 and then 23-16. So some decent scoring games this season. Not really any big defensive shutdowns of a team, I'd say. And so the interesting thing we'll have to see here is whose defense is really going to show up more. Now, this is where I actually think the Ticats have a little bit of an advantage. But what have we seen throughout the season as kind of the narrative along those 3 games that they played against each other? It's that home field advantage does matter, and Montreal has it this game. So now the question is that will Hamilton be able to kind of overcome that with their recent success at the end of the season? I don't know, simply because the end of the season for pretty much almost every team was a time to play your backups, pull your starters out, give these guys some more reps, give these guys some more field time. So I don't really know if that's going to be really, really reflective of the actual starting lineup team. You'd hope that it would be better, but you don't really know. So this is going to be a very close game. This is going to be closer than I think people will expect it to be. And honestly, I'm I'm going to go out on a limb here. I think the Alouettes... I think the Alouettes are going to do it. I think they're barely going to do it. But I think it's very possible that Hamilton could do it. They are not out of it. They have shown that with the end of the season. And we'll have to see if that continues, though. You know, Hamilton is really... They've been on a hot streak, but I don't know if all of that has been enough to overcome the Alouettes here. And so I think that Trevor Harris, the consistency that Trevor Harris has had this season is going to be a huge advantage for the Alouettes. And it'll be really down to the defenses of these teams to really get a grasp on the other team to really just shut down defense. And we'll see how that goes. So, yeah, I'm going to pick the Montreal Alouettes, but this is a very, very close game, and I know it could go either way. I want to know what you guys thought. I want to know you guys, what is your predictions for this game? Comment in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys next time.